Does your home have banging sounds in the walls, like when the washing machine's running or somebody flushes the toilet? If so, you may have what we call a water hammer. On the screen is a chart with a better explanation if you'd like to pause and read through that real quick, or just continue watching the video. Okay, the wife has been advised we need to shut the water off, but we also need to drain everything. So we gotta open this up. I suppose it makes sense to try to get the water as low as possible. And we got to go upstairs and open up the Lou. Why are you fighting me? Open up the sink upstairs to get the water from the upstairs to drain out completely, because there's going to be a second part to this, which is capping the hot and cold water for the tub in the master bedroom, because we're going to remodel the bathroom, and I might as well cap that off before we start cutting. So more to follow there as well. All right, we have the pipe cutter ready to go. This is going to be a two-part process because obviously I have limited space, so I'm going to have to cut, flip it over, and go the other direction as well, or end up with a hacksaw. We'll see what happens. People wonder sometimes why you will always see me in gloves, and there's a simple reason for that. Because I've had a few injuries, actually 4 surgeries, until they just cut it off because they couldn't fix it. Safety glasses are on as well, which is more important when you're doing this copper sweating portion. And the other thing is, it's 30-some degrees outside and a little chilly in the garage, so it's nice to have the gloves on to be safe and warmer. All right, I'm going to cut this off and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm not able to get a real clean cut in there and didn't want to deal with a hacksaw type of situation, so we have this protective shield that I always use for doing anything with the torch. I'm just going to heat this up and remove the piece and then cut it to size and put it back the way I want it. This is probably some toxic material, asbestos or whatever, but it works great with this, so you don't destroy your wall and other things. So you might be able to see in the video that something's burning down below. Oh, it went out. It's also a lot harder to sweat the copper in this situation because I can tell there's still water in the line, so this might take a little bit longer and I might end up having to redo several pieces. I'll come back after I have this done because there's water leaking. I don't have enough water out of the line yet. All right, we went back to just cutting it because the line had too much water in it and it didn't want to get hot enough to sweat properly. I'm going to put a vacuum shop vac on there in a second and get all that water out of the line before I sweat the fitting on. But the most important piece right now, I stuck this on too soon, is to get this nice and clean. I also use sandpaper to clean this up. Apparently I should have protected the wall better. I like to clean the inside as well, though apparently I need to get a new one of these because this is not doing the job correctly. But I have another one because this one obviously all fell apart, and there's another one out in the shop, but for now, well, we're just going to sandpaper it, take my jacket off, get a little warmer in here, and then we'll get the vacuum on there. All right, the pipe is cleaned inside and out. I did a better job. I'm now getting ready to sweat the fitting on, and then we'll clean up the threads a little bit on the inside because I see a lot of burrs. Make sure that we're going to get a good tight fit, and then find the Teflon tape as well and proceed to the next step. I'm not going to try to videotape this I'm not going to try to video the sweating portion because sometimes it'll spit or pop and I don't want to risk damage to the camera, so I'm going to remove it for the moment. Okay, the piece is now sweated on, a little sloppy, but hey, again, it's 30 degrees and I don't care. Now we're going to Teflon tape the new attachment here and find a wrench that size, which is huge. And then we'll, actually we have a step or part 2 to this, which is capping a couple of water lines under the house. So I'm not going to be able to test the water pressure yet until we get that done. And also in between videos here, the smoke alarms went off in the whole house because I didn't have the garage door open because it was too cold. The new water hammer arrestor, or Hydra arrestor, is now installed. We're going to put the insulation back on, though it doesn't typically get below 0 out here. We're certainly not going to risk it. And then we're going to go under the house to install 2 of these after cutting the water lines under the master bath. There you have it. Important safety tip. If your wife asks you repeatedly if she can shower, you're taking too long. So we're going to go ahead and turn the water back on here. And check for leaks. I don't see any. Pipe's cold. Everything's looking good here. Now we'll go back under the house and continue with the other project. All right, the support piece is in, angled up in case I ever have to come back down here and check that solder joint. Excuse me. Time to get out from under the crawl space and turn the water. Oh, no, the water's back on. Turn the faucets off, let it pressurize, and double check for leaks. Those leaks on the left, they don't matter because those pipes are all coming out. There you have it, another project complete from the stupid idiot.